Right. So Dr. Peters got quite excited about this one. Was it the seed of life? This what ties in with them? It's very different. It's not a cross at all, is it?
No, it's not. No, this has no cross in it, any configuration whatsoever. And we even see down here, we're going to see the same kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We lost our light.
Someone's got to walk around. Automatic lights, yes.
Okay, Jess,
it's coming out okay.
Walk a little bit. See if we can get the lights to get on.
It's fine on the screen. It's okay. Keep going.
Okay, so when we look at this, there's no cross here on this stone. We see 2 shepherd staffs, right? 2 shepherd staff, and then we see this tree erupting here, and then in this tree we see this banner. Now this would actually be consistent with the banner that Moshe was told to create. Put a seraph on a banner on a pole, not the serpent. He elected to put the serpent. And so what we see in the seed of life, you see a circle here, and then you see the 6 circles around it. So it actually constitutes a 7-circle display. The 7 circles indicating the 2 wings of the seraph with which he covered his head, 2 with which he flew, 2 with which he covered his feet, and the head of the seraph in the middle.
That's the 7th circle in the center.
That's the 7th circle.
Right, yes, it is.
And so the seraph, like the menorah, expresses the 7-fold doctrine of the whole creation, because Yah himself is a 7-fold being. 6 days he created, and on the 7th day he rested. And so as Enoch 93:12 says, in the latter days, the 7-fold doctrine of his whole creation would be revealed unto his children. And now it's being revealed. We see it expressed here in the 7-fold doctrine, in this symbol. Quite interesting that this ancient symbol would be used inside of some form of a tombstone.
So maybe this might be a much older one in thought, or do the shepherd staff sort of negate that possibility?
Well, actually,
was it been reused, perhaps?
The shepherd staff. I mean, we see this symbol here in ancient Israel, actually going back, like I mentioned to you before, on the bema seat that was found at Migdal, the ancient synagogue of Migdal, which was excavated about 20 years ago. They dug up the bema seat and they found, of course, the seat of life on top of the bema seat and the menorah on the side. And the menorah, the 7-candle menorah, would be an expression of this was an ancient synagogue, a synagogue steeped in Moshe's Torah. But what was the seat of life doing on top? The seat of life was there on top as an expression of this idea of the seraph. And again, the seraph giving you the 7-fold doctrine of his creation. So we talk about the seraph. Remember that the seraph is singular, seraphim is plural. A seraph, 1, seraphim, more than 1. Right. And the seraphim were seen by Isaiah in Isaiah chapter 4, and he describes them as 2 wings above, 2 wings with which they flew, 2 wings below. And they had multiple faces. They're described by John in the book of Revelation, chapter 14. Same thing, 2 wings above, 2 wings with which they flew, 2 wings at their feet. Only their wings were covered with eyes, like the peacock feathers. Eyes.
Yes, those eyes, yes.
But he says they had 4 different faces. Now, I think there were 4 different creatures. One with the face of an eagle, one with the face of a lion, one with the face of a man, one with the face of a bull. 4 different creatures, which, interestingly enough, those 4 symbols were the 4 symbols of the way the tribes were broken up in the book of Numbers. When the tribes were in the wilderness, each one was required to come under their own banner. And the tribe of Judah led one group, which was the lion. The tribe of Dan led another group, which was the eagle. The tribe of Ephraim led another group, which was the bull. And the last one was the tribe of whatever.
Something to represent the man, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, the representative man was the tribe of Reuben.
Yeah.
And so they were actually stacked in the desert like a cross with the Mishkan.
Which you can see in the stars form a cross in the sky, don't they? You can form that eternal cross with the 4 symbols.
Yeah, and the eternal cross in the paleo is the letter Tav. The letter Tav. And so in Ezekiel 9, you have a passage that says, take the angel with the inkhorn and have him go down there and set a mark upon all those who will not be slaughtered by the angels with the slaughter weapons. But in the Hebrew, it's atava ha-tav. Set a tav on them, which would have been this paleo-ivrit tav, like this. So anyway, this is a very clear indicia that this was known at the time that this tomb was done. This appears to be Latin written down here, in this language here, because you can see the even block of the script.
So it might have been added later, or would that have been mean, it seems a very ancient symbol to have a Latin inscription, doesn't it? How would you...
Absolutely, it is a very interesting symbol, and to see no Latin cross. To see
Plus
no
the Latin,
cross.
because the Latin looks like it's been scribbled on. I mean, all this is beautifully carved. And it's
Meticulously carved.
and it's about this deep,
Meticulously.
isn't it? It's relief carving to this sort of depth. Mm-hmm. And then this is sort of just...
It's kind of scratched,
just
yeah.
been hacked on, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not in relief, it's just carved into the stone. Scruffy handwriting, I can't actually read it. Like, it is legible, though. I mean, it's just take a little bit of effort, wouldn't it?
Is there any significance to the flower bit there in the middle?
Yeah, the flower again, and you see
many
this
petals on the
flower.
flower?
This, I think it's got 8 petals on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's an 8-petaled flower. You see this flower above churches all over Europe, and you see them in the U.S. too. This flower will be at the apex. This 8-fold flower again symbolizes the solar calendar and its 8 divisions. That's what it symbolizes. Solar calendar and its 8 divisions. This does not. This symbolizes the 7-fold doctrine of his creation as expressed in the image of the seraph. And then, so this is why we see this kind of like the tree of life, if you will. And, again, we have this kind of Trinitarian expression. You have 2 staffs here and this singular staff rising over the 3. Or maybe this is the symbol of, the one fellow who was crucified to the right who had no salvation, the other fellow on this side.
Yes.
The dove here flying up who did have salvation and would join him in paradise.
But there's no real cross in the middle, though, is there? There's not crosses, though, are there?
There's no cross. There's no cross in that image at all.
Interesting, isn't it? Thank you.